right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the regularly scheduled select board meeting for January 15th. Before we start, I'd like to have everyone stand, please, and say pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 2 on the agenda is for public comment on items that are not on the agenda tonight. Do I have any public comment? Seeing none. Public hearing, we have none. Adjustments, we will make one. Item 5, approval of the consent agenda items. Item A, AP warrant number 20 in the amount of $66,863.87. Item B, AP warrant number 21 in the amount of $7,200. Item C, AP warrant number 22 in the amount of $316,793.06. Item D, payroll warrant week number 52 in the amount of $19,343.64. Item E, payroll warrant week number 53 in the amount of $3,805.50. Item F, payroll warrant week number 2 in the amount of $5,158.89. Item G, payroll warrant week number 3 in the amount of $4,168.19. And minutes, item H, minutes for the September 11th, 2024 select meeting, and minutes for, minutes for December 18th, 2024 select meeting minutes. I need a motion. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda A through I as read.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any public comment? All in favor? One abstain?
Just on Article B, that's all.
Okay, so you should take out B is what you should do. You would motion
Right.
to amend the agenda to remove B and then do B separately.
I approve A, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I, and do not approve of B.
Oh, okay, so,
So amend your.
I will take back my motion to approve the consent agenda A through I.
A through I with the exclusion of B.
Yeah, but Sherry has to do the same with her.
Yeah? You second that?
So I second that.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda A, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any public comment? All in favor?
Okay. And then do your consent item B.
I'll make a motion to approve item B on the consent agenda as read.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any public comment? All in favor? All again opposed?
Thank you.
All right, new business.
You want-
Yes, we will, yeah, we'll move,
Oh, so get the sheriff first.
you wanna do him for, okay. Where,
I didn't put any on it.
okay,
So just follow me.
all right. So we're gonna move things around and we will do the update, from the sheriff department. Sir?
Well, hello again.
Hello.
Since I was here last month, I know that when I was here last was a member of the public that was concerned with some speeding on River Road over by like High Medicinal Rent to Own. I've worked a few of these shifts, and I always work Chelsea when I'm working patrol anyways. So I've been trying to focus over there. Haven't seen a couple of people that have been, crazy speeds, but mostly everything 5 to 7 over. Couple highlights recently, Following up with last time I talked about some suspicious activity that we've been reported on Harlan Drive down here. Continue to follow up on that. I did personally stop a vehicle leaving and did arrest a gentleman from New York City leaving there, which resulted in somebody else being needed to be picked up by a vehicle. And when that person came to pick them up, they were arrested on an outstanding warrant for a shooting in Wisconsin. So that turned out well.
Nice.
19 Dondero Road has been cleaned out. They're completely empty now.
Good.
I recovered a stolen car out of the driveway a couple weeks ago, last week maybe. And then we went back to the homeowner the next day and removed everybody from the residence. So that shouldn't be an issue over there anymore. I know we've been receiving a lot of complaints. So that, and just continuing to do traffic enforcement. Got another person driving with a revoked license today, so.
Awesome.
Any questions? Yes.
Do you have a black sedan patrol car with black windows?
I have a black Dodge Charger. Yes.
Does the department have one
Black sedan.
with black windows?
Most of us on patrol have black Dodge Chargers, which is a sedan with tinted windows, yes.
Okay.
Are you talking unmarked?
Yes,
We have a deputy that has an SUV.
no, this was a sedan.
We don't have any black unmarked sedans.
Okay,
Yeah, we all have lettering on the cars.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Awesome.
Appreciate your hard work.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna skip number one, we're gonna go to number two. The discussion concerning 10 Searles Mills Road. You got the floor?
I took pictures of the town manager today.
Each of you have a copy of the pictures there in front of you. Mr. Charette was invited this evening to attend the meeting. He did state that he was in Florida and unable to attend. It was offered to him to contact us via Zoom, which obviously includes a call-in option. My understanding is that he explained to CEO Lumbert that sounded very confusing or very complicated. And that he'd get back to us, and we did not hear from him. So my request this evening is to have this board consider moving forward with a dangerous building action since his deadline is now up.
Sherry?
We started this when I was on the board before. And he only wanted a short window, we gave him a longer window. I know the board's extended it several times. The building's not safe, and there are kids over there. I'm leaning towards we move with a dangerous building because, you know, none of us are gonna feel good if a kid or a homeless person gets hurt in there. That's just my opinion.
Jake?
Yeah, I think we've given him more than enough time, and I said it since day one to him that I feel he's gonna get to this point of spending all kinds of money, and he's wasted his time, and it's unfortunate, I get it, but it's not doing himself any favors, and I believe he pulled those I-beams up and it did not do him any favors, so I think it's worse now than when we started, and like Sherry said, I'm just worried that something's gonna happen here that's not gonna be good for somebody, so. That's where I stand with it.
So, as Sherry has stated, this has gone on for quite a while. The first time we met with him, he agreed to a certain date. We extended it almost twice the length. And as Sherry has said, we've done it, multiple times since. Anytime he's asked, or we've come to an agreement on a date, we've always basically doubled it. Can I assume that the issue is that it's a dangerous building? that is your concern.
Well, yeah, cause he took those I-beams out from under it, and there is some cribbing under it, but it's, I mean, that one wall is just about missing. And when I talked to him, he said he was trying to get a small piece of equipment down there to do something. It wouldn't fit.
When was the last time you talked to him?
Thursday, wasn't it? I think it was Thursday.
Prior to that? So Thursday, you reached out to him?
Yes. I
Prior to
invited him
that?
to meet, and he said his mother was having surgery down in Florida, and he wouldn't be able to make the meeting. And then we talked about Zoom, and he didn't know how to do that, so he said he'd call me back, and I haven't heard from him since.
And this was Thursday.
Right, last week.
Prior to that, when had you talked to him?
Probably a couple months roughly.
Okay, how about you?
I have not had phone contact with Roland
I mean,
since
I didn't
last
talk to him, I'd ride by there, and I mean, there's not much progress that I can see. He did put new windows in it, but I don't know how that's gonna work out when he levels it out, probably break all the windows.
Hmm.
So I mean, you look at that thing, and I mean, that addition cocked right off sideways.
Yeah, I saw that today.
You know?
Do we know if he's got any type of liability insurance on the property?
I have no idea.
We don't request that, or whenever we,
No.
it's not a,
And the unfortunate thing, he's got all those Elgin systems outside there. I think they're like $200 a piece, but due to letting them sit out there in the sun and the weather, they're no good, you can't use them.
is that the black stuff? What's
They look
the,
like squares in that.
what is that?
That's Elgin, that is part of the septic system. But we checked with the manufacturer, and if they're left outside, they're just not good. I mean, they've been sitting there a long time.
The UV rays, the sun's,
I mean, I
Is
guess
that
it's
what
full of
does it?
holes inside of them, and then when that direct sunlight gets on them, it plugs them up and makes them inefficient.
and how long has that been sitting there, do you think?
6, 7, 8 months anyway,
I said last summer.
yeah. And I think all the septic system is there, it's just not put together.
So, I'm disappointed in the amount of time that we had given him. Every time we met with him here, he always said he was gonna take care of, and take care of whatever our concerns were
Right.
by that date. So I guess moving forward for me, the only way that I would agree to moving forward is, one, that he had liability insurance if somebody was to walk through a place.
Right,
And number two, I would like to see, the fencing put all the way around it like you see down on Hospital Street, the
right,
new police building. So for me, the only way I would approve anything moving forward is if those two things happen. If not, I'm in agreement with my other two colleagues that we do what we have to do. It's unfortunate, because he's got money invested in the place.
right.
You know, he's got a new, metal roof. I'm sure he did it himself, but the metal roof's probably $4,000 or
I
$5,000.
think it was on there before, when he bought it,
That metal roof was?
I think so, yeah.
Well,
But if you look at the back side, it's kinda hard to tell in the pictures, but I don't know if the whole house dropped or what, but it's kinda like a wave in that back section where it dropped
That left
down.
side definitely
Well, I
is.
think when he pulled those, he had no supports down there enough to
Right.
offset.
I asked him why he pulled them out, and he said he pulled them out so he'd get a, excavator or bobcat or something down there himself.
I don't know, why would you, at this point, we're gonna have before we get all this work?
I don't know. I don't know.
How you can, yeah.
And he's in the oil business, and his time is probably pretty limited this time of year. And, you can't put a septic system in when it's, near zero. Cause if there's any frost in the ground, once it, put that system in, once that frost unthaws, it's gonna throw the measurements off, and, the system will probably fail prematurely.
Any public comment? Yes, sir.
Okay, I understand he's got 3/4 of the foundation done, has he?
Yeah, this, as you face the building deck on the left-hand side, that's pretty much laid open. And the backside of it, there's sections, it looks like the frost has played with it a little bit.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
between half and three-quarter, it's done, would you say?
Yeah, probably, I don't know, I
Okay.
didn't measure it.
I didn't go look, but he was over the other day and he said that. And I don't think that you should put any more restrictions on him than you do on anybody else in the town. You've got other buildings in the town that are bad. You've got the Hollow Road, Walter Plant, not Walter Plant, but,
No, Al plant, that's right.
Al Plant, yeah. The roof's falling in. Have you done anything about that place?
They're all on the list, Dick,
Huh?
they're all on the list.
Yeah, but you've done anything. They may be on the list, but I don't think,
Well, you gotta research it, find out who owns them, then you gotta send them notices, and that all takes time.
That,
And when you got 100 plus of those things in town, you know, I can't go more than 1 week.
I understand that, but he's the only one that you're,
No, he's not
Enforcing
the
it.
only one,
Huh?
no, he's not the only one.
who else are you enforcing?
Well, I don't want to disclose that right now, but there's other people in town that are gonna go to court because they haven't done anything.
Yeah, so I don't think it's right to, like, make him put a fence all the way around.
Have you been
Well-
down there, Dick?
No,
Go take a look.
the
Okay.
plans for closing this evening.
Yeah, well, so the whole object is, it's a dangerous building.
what's that?
I said the whole object is it's a dangerous building right now because it's not enclosed. Anybody could walk in there, the homeless, and if something falls, who's gonna be responsible for that?
It certainly ain't the town, it would be him.
Well, for me, the only way that I'm gonna approve anything of that going forward, because he's sat here multiple times and has agreed to do everything that we've asked and then some, and this is the third year in a row now, we're talking about this.
Yeah,
Well, maybe his nickels didn't come together just right either.
well, they had them big steel girders under there, which would have helped things, but he took them out. So there's really nothing holding that house up.
I don't know, he told me that the foundation was 3/4 done.
Go take a look at it.
Oh, well, but I didn't look, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he said. He said he had to go to Florida. His mother is having an operation.
Surgery, yeah.
Well, he told
Yeah,
us in
he wanted
August,
to
when
know
that
for
last
that,
meeting
so.
was, when we extended it, that he'd have it done in a week and a half, 2 weeks, and.
You better speak up. I never heard a word you said or you said earlier.
He
I didn't hear
said, he said
anything.
in the meeting, the last one he was at, we gave him 6 more months, in a week and a half, 2 weeks, he'd have the bricks all done. It's the middle of January, and it's worse off now than it was when we gave him the extension.
Yeah, but have you given anybody else a restriction to do stuff like that in the town?
Yes.
We've extended, a gentleman down there, right across from the old Chelsea Market. We extended him many months. I think that went over a year. That one comes to mind. Well, the one on the Collins Road, Janet Jellison. How many times have we extended her?
They went on for 15 years.
So it's not that we're not working with him, Dick. We've tried working with him. One of the problems is that these people never come into us and talk to us. If he's having trouble rubbing 2 nickels together, come and sit down with us and let us know. But the people that don't stay in touch with you, and you gotta chase them and serve them, and that's what doesn't look good.
Yeah.
You know, we're the easiest board to get along with, but when you don't talk to us, and we gotta continue to chase you, that's the wrong way of doing it.
In the meantime, you got neighbors calling me, telling me that I'm not doing my job. I mean, I wouldn't wanna look at that thing all day, and I'm damn sure you wouldn't either.
I didn't think, the last time I looked at it was a long time ago. I didn't think it was a bad looking house driving by.
If you want this,
But I haven't been near there lately.
3 pictures for you, right here. You take it home with you.
I mean, the pictures actually look good compared to what it looks like in reality, Dick.
Any other public comment while Dick looks through those pictures?
He's got that rubbish outside.
Yeah, I took them this morning.
And there's more down back.
And you walk back there, Dick, looks like Hatch Hill.
Well, I'd agree that you should do something with him over that.
The best thing we can do is take a look, you'll see. what
I'm going.
when is he coming back, do you know?
Don't be a week.
Hadn't met February meeting.
Yep. So, I guess I would reach out to him, whoever does it, and say, we need to have a sit down, I mean, he can do it with you, it doesn't have to be in front of us. He can do it with you, and gotta figure something out. But we're to the board is to the point where, the decision's gonna be made, and it's not gonna be in his favor.
Right, and I understand he's down there with his mother, that's
Yep,
Well, that's totally understandable.
yep, yep.
I
So,
get it.
maybe reach out to him, tell him what we've done tonight, what we talked about tonight, and, as soon as he gets back, he's gotta come in and sit down with you. I mean, is that okay with everybody? Any public comment on that?
What do you want me to tell him?
I just, what we said tonight, where your, advice or opinion on this is to move forward with it,
You know,
80K?
Fix it right or get rid of it, one of the two. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
And then go, and then if he, let's have him at our next meeting.
Yep.
So you need to be at that meeting if you can, and so we can discuss it and be fair to everybody.
I mean, at least it didn't steel beams under it, I mean, it had some sort of support, but now it's, you know, we get severe winds or something like that, and that thing's gonna be in the cellar.
All right,
There's no heat or anything in there.
No.
Like I said, the septic's not there, so he's got a lot of work to do if he was right down there 7 days a week.
okay.
It looks like some of the blocks he's put up there, I don't know if the frost is done or not, but they're breaking apart. Probably 'cause there's no heat in there. You gonna be talking to him?
Well, I can. I wanna go look myself, I'm sorry I didn't go look before we come here, but if he's got a mess outside, I think that ought to be clean, but,
You take a look, see what you think.
okay, I will.
All right,
Maybe you can assist in making the plan.
I got enough problems with my own.
all right, thank you,
We good?
yes.
Thanks, sir.
Look me up tomorrow if you
We'll
can.
go back to number one, meet with the new assessors agent,
Tomorrow I
James
got
and
stuff
Joe
from
Murphy.
Friday.
We only have
Got
half
stuff
of
coming off
the
at
Murphy
11
claim here, it
o'clock
looks like.
to 11 or 12.
That's right. Thank you for allowing me to come and work here.
Okay.
I work for Murphy Appraisal Services Incorporated. There's just two of us, me and my father. It was started by my grandfather, so my grandfather was an assessor, my father's an assessor, and now I am an assessor as well. I've been Owl's Head's assessor for 2 years now, and I have a couple of revaluation projects under my belt, but I'm still fairly in the shallow end of the assessing pool. But anything that ventures into the deep end, it's a collaboration with my father to make sure that everything is correct, accurate, and equitable. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here. I just wanted to come and identify myself, face to the name. And I will be here every Tuesday. I was here last Tuesday, and I will be here this coming Tuesday as well, for the next 6 months or so.
Are you Jim or Joe?
I'm Joe.
You're Joe.
Yes.
Have you already gone out back and sat down and gone through anything?
I have, yes. So I did a full day, not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that. I apologize, I'm forgetting his name. Is it Rod?
Roger.
Roger, thank you. Roger showed me around, and the first day I started an audit of the homesteads, going through all the homesteads, making sure that those are correct in the trio. This kind of allows me to look through the trio and navigate. This trio is a little bit different than what I've used before, so there's a little bit of a learning curve with the O'Donnell system, but they seem to have great data. So the homesteads led me around trio a little bit. Next I'll audit veterans exemptions, current use, tree growth, farm space, that sort of thing. And it'll let me kind of suss out the office, see where everything really is, and how much needs to be maintained. It's mostly a lot of maintenance.
Did he leave like a template of where he left off or what he was in the middle of? I know it's difficult from one company to the next. You have your own way of doing things as well as, I mean, did he give you anything? Hey, I'm working on this town needs this to be done.
Right.
Any of that, or is it up to you to just go through with Christine's help to?
Right. You kind of jump into it. It was definitely that way in Owl's Head. Here was actually a great pleasure to talk to Roger for a day and have him show me around. More directly though, there's a folder that says spring work on it. There's some more recent files on the computer, but mostly I'm hunting around and getting used to things like that. He was great in letting me know, the passwords to everything, where everything is located. But yeah, the day-to-day maintenance work, I'm kind of just diving into it,
Yep.
if you will.
Where are you guys located?
There's just two of us. That's a tough question. We're technically, I think, Union, Maine.
Okay.
My father and I work in 8 or 9 towns that are around the Mid Coast. This is as far west as we go, actually, so far.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Any public comment?
I actually worked with his dad for about 15 or 20 years in Warren.
In Warren, right?
Yes, and Joe actually went to school with my daughter, so,
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it comes around.
It does.
Well, thank you.
Hey, thank you. I
Full
appreciate it.
circle.
Yes.
Thanks,
Glad to
Joe.
have you on board.
Thanks.
Item 3, discussion concerning the procurement policy for FEMA funds.
So, as you may or may not be aware, I've been working with FEMA on the Windsor Road Bridge project, the bridge that went out last year. They posed an offer to me, and I say offer with quotes, to work with a engineer that's working in the town of Acton also, and be able to use him with strict FEMA funds. Now, that being said, because of the price tag, our procurement policy states that we have to seek so many bids. And I explained that to FEMA, and FEMA said, could you please go to the board and say, if we're paying for it, can you let us pick who we need to use? So this gentleman reached out to me. He wants to come on site and take a look at possibly designing a bridge instead of a box culvert or a round culvert again, but he needs to take a look at the damage and whatnot. He's reached out to me twice now. So my question to this board is, are you okay if I start working through a procurement policy that exempts the bidding, seeking 3 bids or more when it's using FEMA funds?
My
Since
biggest
they're
thing
paying for
is, how far back is FEMA paying us for past storms and whatnot? Couple years?
We are about a year and a half
So-
behind, yes.
I just feel like it's foolish if we're gonna rely on that, if they can't even keep their bills up to speed, you know?
So paying a vendor or a contractor such as him, he would bill them directly.
Right.
But what ends up with FEMA claims that we put through is it goes through a series of steps. Like administration, like they pay me 10% of they pay my pay 10% of the project in those funds. Firefighters go out, they pay 10% of that. So there's all these steps that have to get approved at the government level, and you know how government works,
Right.
works slow. So, but that being said, the contractor would not bill us. We're not going to pay,
Right.
but they're doing work for us, which makes it kind of a gray area. But Marcel from FEMA said, hey, ask your board if they're okay with not securing 3 bids, if we can get it taken care of for you.
Problem is, I just know the money difference is, I mean, when their engineer guy came here, wasn't it like millions of dollars they wanted to put in that,
For the bridge,
right?
I think they
And
were
last time it was replaced, it was like 600 and something thousand.
I think they were estimating about 750,000.
Right,
So my understanding, and I haven't seen the numbers come down through yet, is that FEMA would pay 90%, we would pay 5%, and the state would pay 5%.
of the whole project.
It's got to get fixed at some point.
I completely agree, I just like to know what the, you know, if we put that same culvert back in there, what it's gonna cost compared to us at 5% with this $1 million operation they wanna put in.
Which this gentleman will tell me when he comes down, he'll say, this is my suggestion.
Right.
That town that he's working with lost 2 bridges in one of the storms, so, he wants to set eyes on it. But I need kind of your blessing.
Is that
at
the
this
same
point.
guy that was here last time?
No,
Okay.
no, this is an actual contractor, and I don't remember the name of the company right off the top of my head, but he was secured by FEMA to do this other town.
So,
Nothing says you have to adopt the policy at
right,
this point.
I just know that it shouldn't be a big of a deal, get 3 contractors to put a bid in on that. You know what I mean,
If we move forward with doing our own thing, FEMA funds are gonna drop. I don't know, I wanna say 60% maybe, or 70%. As opposed to if he moves into a different category, we get more money. I don't know the whole ins and outs, but
Let's play devil's advocate. If we do that and go out and get 3 bids, where would that money come from if we're gonna be on the hook for, let's say, 50% of $1 million job?
do you have to have a special town meeting and take it out of your undesignated? Or bond it?
I mean, we deal with FEMA often,
More than we like.
yeah. I mean, if we're gonna be on the hook, let's just use numbers, $1 million. If we're gonna be on the hook for 5% of that, that's better than 50%. I mean, I guess I would do what they want if that's what it's gonna be, and it's only gonna cost the town 5%. And hopefully it lasts longer than,
And then do we get somewhat of final say on the decision they make on what they put in for a culvert or a bridge thing there? Cause last guy wanted to save the raccoons crawling on the road.
You're talking about the gentleman that
Right,
assessed the
like
damage.
the project, if we go with them, do we have any say in what gets done? Culvert wise or concrete or,
FEMA's gonna go with what he recommends because they're paying the bulk of it.
right, that's what I'm worried about.
We don't, if we agree not to get the 3 bids, do we still have to, is that tying us into doing what he says? Or can we still say no, once we figure out what his design's gonna be, and exactly what it's gonna cost the town, can we say, we're not?
I believe you can, yes, that's certainly a question I can ask FEMA on Friday
Okay,
morning.
I think we can, I think we can.
Yes, yes.
Right, I don't wanna get tied into something else and like, whoa,
No, I think
You're
I think you can. It's like FEMA's this big umbrella, but it has different pockets, and because it's their idea, they kinda don't care what the price is gonna be because it's their idea.
Let me ask some more questions on Friday morning and.
do we know how that got damaged in the first place? Was it because of
was that December storm, it could have been a log. or-
trees? Yeah, I mean, that's just a
It was never
freak
done.
thing that, if that is the case, which I think if a culvert out of cement would probably have held up a lot better than if a tree come down and hit it. I don't know what
Well,
What-
part of it is the blue line is what they call it, which the salmon, the spawning come up through, which puts it into a whole different category, which is why they wanna move more towards a bridge that's permanent.
are they saying that's a salmon habitat?
The LY is the biggest thing.
Salmon were documented as going up also.
Well, that's how we got the
This
Nelson
is a
Road.
big chunk of money, especially with the new building, potentially, it's gonna be skyrocketing. It's unfortunate, I don't know.
Well, and the next 2 years of, state funds is gonna be,
Crippling.
so, I mean, I'm in favor of, if FEMA wants it, if that's what they want, and they're gonna take care of 95% of it, which obviously we would like to see in writing.
Yep.
I guess, you know, for the better of the town and the townspeople, that's what I think we need to do.
I agree.
Any public comment?
What's our 5% be?
We don't have a number
No.
yet. This will be the gentleman
That's why
coming
we're just
down.
using
Oh,
$1 million
I
just
remember
for.
that guy had some rough numbers and it was
I think it's
crazy.
like $750,000.
I thought they were like 7.5 million or something, is what I thought the project was. But that, when he was talking about the concrete and everything, I was like, so that 5% of that's, we'll take care of it ourselves. That's what number I want to concern, cause that guy really made me pretty nervous with his ideas. I'm just worried we get into something, it's like, well, that ain't no good.
So let me talk to her again on Friday. This potential contract is gonna be in there, but she did want me to ask if we move forward with strictly FEMA funds, not doing the 3-bid process. So it sounds like you're kind of okay with that, as long as we okay with the project and the price tag.
Well, we are, but
Okay.
like Jake just said, I mean, if those numbers were true, you know, 5% of 7 million is,
A lot of money.
I know his numbers.
which I can't believe that's $7 million for a bridge down there. I mean, I'm hoping you didn't hear it right, but that would be just
I thought it was
crippling for the
3/4 of a
town.
million. I don't remember. Okay, let me talk to Marcel on Friday, and I'll report back to you in February of what they come up with.
Okay, item 4, discussion and consideration of new Maine paid family and medical leave payroll tax.
So, as you probably all know, the new tax went into effect on January 1st, where 1% of gross pay needs to be paid into the state for like a Family Medical Leave Act, where the state will collect it from now till April, then the program will go into effect, I believe it's next year, where if you go out on leave, you can collect a paycheck, basically. A lot of towns had a lot of discussion about this. I think there probably will be a bill upcoming in the legislature. However, the auditors that were here last week asked me to bring it to the board and just confirm to you that you only want to pay 0.5% and have the employees pay 0.5% until we can get a full legislative decision at town meeting in June on if the town wants to pay the full 1% or continue at 50/50. So, out on the listserv, numerous towns, out of 15 of them, only 2 were not splitting with the employees. They were paying the full 1% out of town's pockets. The rest of them were splitting and doing 50/50. So I need this board to say, we are good, make a motion and a vote to continue the 50/50 until town meeting in June, when the legislative body will make their decision.
I feel it, here goes in.
Yeah, I feel like they should be half.
That's my motion.
Okay.
Need a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any public comment? Yes, sir.
What makes us think that we have a choice? I mean, the law I thought was 1%, and now we have a choice?
It's 1%, yes, but some towns are using town funds to pay the 1% and not taking it out of their employees' paycheck.
Oh, this is over and above. Well, I thought you said half.
Well, currently the town's paying half and the employee's paying half. That's the minimum,
Which would be 2%, okay.
1%, half and half.
Okay.
Or the town has a choice to pay the full 1% and not tax their employees. So, what did Togus do? 50/50?
We already had a plan, they get 12 weeks paid, and
However, if you saw the front page of the paper today, the
we're still paying half, they pay half, we
Okay.
pay half.
All right, the Department of
Which
Labor
is-
and BIW is suing the Mills administration for this.
Hmm.
That's why I say I think you're gonna see a bill come forward,
As there should be.
so.
Any other comments? All in favor?
I think the auditors will be pleased with that.
Item 5, review and possibly approve the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget schedule.
In here is a proposed working document of the schedule for the upcoming budget. If you guys are good with these dates, we'll move forward and send them out with the packages and to the budget committee.
This Friday one, that's not a meeting though, right?
No, it's just, I just give you your book so you can pick them up. Yeah. You won't actually see a presentation till the following month.
I'll just make sure, cause the shop is in Friday. Right?
This is set by charter,
Right. No, I'm
but
fine
it
with
could
these
just
dates.
be a very rough draft at that point, because I won't be fully ready until March when I do the presentation. And that's your regular scheduled meeting.
Yeah, I'm fine with these.
Okay, just a blessing, it doesn't have to be broken, okay.
Item 6, RSU number 12, school board candidate.
I did reach out to a couple of people about serving on school board, they both politely declined. However, I had one volunteer step up and said he would do it until June. If you would nominate and appoint him till June.
Did we do a background check on this guy?
No comment.
So I'll make a motion to approve putting Scott Grady on the school board until the end of this fiscal year.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. I'm not looking for any public comment. All in favor?
Enjoy the habit.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're gonna love it.
Sandra had a nice discussion with him, trying to make it look like a lovely time.
All right, all business is done, legal is done, great communications.
So I did have one person reach out to me about being on the budget committee. I thought he was gonna submit something. I never received anything. I did meet with the fire department last week on some personnel issues. We're working through that. Pretty positive after a couple of them spoke that attitudes became much different. So hopefully it'll be a good team over there that is conducive to making it quite successful. I will tell you, Phil Alexander was very complimentary of the team over there, stating that they're getting all their education, they're doing all their training, and he's very proud of them. So that I think that boosts their ego quite a bit. We did have a staff meeting last Friday. I explained to them some of the things that we're working through and some of the requests that I had. One of them was kind of huge, is that they asked that each team member have a cash draw. There's some different variations on how they keep their cash draws, so I'm setting up 2 more cash draws at $200 each, so everybody can keep their own responsibility, not touch anybody else's cash draws.
Actually, you're right, that's,
So,
should be the right one.
yeah. And what will end up happening is Dot's gonna have her own for the days she works, and then if something happens and somebody is out and Sandra and I are here, her and I are gonna share one. So, but we shouldn't be touching cash according to the auditors, so. I'm very, very happy to say that Sally did complete the incoming voter list yesterday. She finally got the numbers to match. That's been quite a process, so I think the Secretary of State's office will be very, very pleased to see those numbers come through with all the absentees and whatnot. So, we're good.
Okay. Town office report,
You have that
is
in
in
there.
there, code enforcement's in there. Animal, I don't think I saw that in there.
It is.
It's on the back, okay. All right, verbal communication. I don't see the board member, that was you. Boards and committees,
I'll go.
Oh. You have the floor.
The age-friendly luncheon is tomorrow here at the town office.
Breakfast?
Breakfast for lunch.
What time?
The social is 11, but you start eating at 11:30. And then our speaker speaks at 12. And our speaker tomorrow is our code enforcement officer, Greg. The 175th continues to fundraise. We have 2 fundraisers going on. The bottle bin, and I'm happy to say with the bottle collections right now, we're a little over $900 that we've collected so far. And the Battle of the Bands fundraiser, we're moving forward with that, and we've sold $200 in tickets so far.
When that event happens.
Yeah.
What do you expect for volunteers? What do you expect from the board? I mean, we haven't really talked about that. I haven't been to any of those meetings. I don't know if you guys have.
I've been to one, I think, but not.
What are you expecting from us?
And hopefully by the next, before the next meeting, I'll have an answer for that.
Okay.
We have volunteers, age friendly, to step forward to help and do different aspects of it. Christine and I are gonna meet with Raymond. I would like to tour it, find out, because it's his license, so I want his employee there checking the IDs and whether we have to set up, or if we have to set up tables and chairs, and yeah, we're gonna need some help from the fire department.
What time is the event starting again?
Starts at 7 and goes to 11:30. We've had 3 bands step up and donate their time, and they'll each play basically about 45 minutes or so with a 15-minute gap in between for the changeover. We're also gonna do a dessert auction, and we're running a 50-50 during that time. One of the questions we have is, he had mentioned Rita Darvo doing the kitchen, and that would be them and their income. But if she didn't want to, he would allow volunteers to go in, and then it would be our income.
So when do you find out about that?
I'm hoping next week.
Is alcohol being?
It's a BYOB.
I get that. I didn't know if this event was gonna be that as well.
Yep. It
Okay.
is.
Chelsea said it's 7, what do you think?
There'll be law enforcement there? Or no?
We did ask him about that, and wasn't it had to be a
Is
certain
this
amount?
Raymond or?
No, I don't, we
They
talked
don't
to
have to be
Raymond
there,
about
no.
that, and I don't think so.
People won't go.
They don't
No.
have to be there. He runs his bottle club with his, not serve safe, but, there's a name for checking IDs and all that kind of alcohol, tips, it's called tips. Basically his employees are trained to
Okay.
recognize, intoxicated and IDs and fake IDs and that sort of thing. I would imagine, as they do with every other dance over there, they probably sit somewhere on 17 when people are leaving.
Okay,
That's it.
that's it for everything?
I don't say a record. Should've started the clock on that one.
I guess so. Any of the boards and committees? I don't believe so, right? No?
I have one thing, that, noticed it today, that tree on the town show that's going over the S-turns there, wasn't Dana Lawrence supposed to cut that down like months ago?
I had him go look at it. He has not gotten me a price yet.
I've had a few people asking about that, I thought it was already planned on getting cut, but.
I had asked him to do that one, and then the one that Scott had talked to him about down in the cemetery
Right.
down there, so I'll put a bug in his ear. I did just have Shivari take care of one on went out of my head, but he did take that one. If we need to, I can get Shivari.
Yeah, it's
over
just
there.
been,
It's just
sitting
not cheap,
oh, I know, it's just dangerous.
yeah. This one actually had a piece fall off onto her car. And it, at the end of the, near her driveway or whatever it was, near her mailbox, she was there and it fell, and it was dead.
How big's the tree?
It's a popple about that big, but it's just leaning on the road, it's just like, it's, yeah. I'd hate to see it fall and,
We can't get the fire department to get over there and,
I'll talk to Shabari.
there's no power lines in there,
No,
but it's just dangerous, I mean, I think it's just a matter of transport.
It's right by your house.
it wouldn't take much time to take it down, block off the road, have someone go in and cut it down. And have
well,
it-
that's it, I mean, those guys,
Trained professionals.
I mean, some of the prices I've heard from landowners that, hey, just come in and just down the tree, I'll take it from
If
there.
legally we can do that, I
Oh
mean, I
my
don't see,
It's some property,
right.
Yeah,
It's not-
well, it's in the town's right away.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's already leaning, but it shouldn't be a hard cut.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, I'm fine with that, if they wanna do it.
so if it's gonna be dropped, is it gonna go into the road?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, then, it's probably best have, if the fire department could do it, cause you're gonna probably need flaggers on each
Oh, yeah.
end. I mean, it wouldn't take long, once it's down, I would assume, I haven't seen it,
No, like
You know,
Jake said, it's not
15 minutes, I think, yeah.
8 inch round maybe.
Yeah.
so I would,
I'd say to see it fall and be an issue in the middle of the night and raining out or something, you guys can deal with it, and, you know what I mean?
so I
On a
would
nice day,
maybe
when
reach
it's
out to
nice out.
Spencer and,
Okay, I can do that.
I mean, I don't,
Tree trimming.
I mean,
What's
we've
that?
cut trees in the past,
Tree training?
you know.
Yeah.
so,
Okay, I'll talk to Spencer, see if we could have a couple volunteers. Step up.
I don't think cut more than that,
Well,
like 2 trucks, you know, probably 5 people help.
Yeah.
Drag it off.
maybe they could do it Wednesday night before a meeting or something.
yeah.
I wonder if I could, no, I don't wanna get involved in that. I'll see what just the brush and stuff, like, gonna do with it, I hate seeing it.
There's gonna be a whole lot of brush.
I know, but still, some sitting on the side of the road.
Well, we'd have our brooms in, clean it up. Like we do any other.
I know, that's what we're gonna do with the brush.
Well, just push it off. I mean, if we own, I mean, technically the right of way is 30 some odd feet. You know, you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
push it into the,
You gotta lop it,
Into the
full
woods.
section and just throw it back in the ditch.
you know,
Somebody has to lawn pick it up.
if someone that's
That's
technically a
awful.
landowner,
What's that?
It's awful, nobody's gonna want that.
I've got it, no, it's still.
I do too, but
Take
Someone
it to
will
the
grab
road, go get it.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at the Montessori flashing lights yet, it's still on my to-do list, it might be spring though.
that's just crazy, I looked at it the other day and like, you see like one car doing like 15 and you see someone just ripping, it's like, but they don't think, you know what I mean? Like, their mind is treated flashing yellow lights and they just don't see the signs, like, that's like, it's close to the road, them kids are only 20 feet from the road, it's like, man. That's it for me.
I don't have anything, I mean, I did, but I don't write stuff down, so.
as I am.
It's a bunch of wasted space up there.
It is a lot of wasted space there.
That's the alfalfa thing going on.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not even good
I need some eyelashes, Mike.
Jealous. I know where you get it from. Probably get you a deal.
Dude,
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn this, meeting.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second,
I wanna say that.
and I'm not taking public comment, I don't want it.
Farm.